Hello, bienvenue à Pratique Education. Nous avons continué série nous côté ma interview haïtien qui était à l'école en Haïti. Nous avons parlé spécifiquement de expérience dans l'école primaire et high school que yo fait en Haïti. Welcome everyone to Pratique Education and the series Continue, where I am interviewing Haitian people who went to school in Haiti and who are able to share their experiences in the schools in Haiti. All right. Right now, I have someone who is close to me, Katianna Fevrier, my sister-in-law. She will be sharing with us her experience in Haiti school. Kounyamge avec moi, une famille moi, c'est Katianna Fevrier, c'est
Bessa.
Bessa, well, thank you. Qui va expliquer nous de expérience que lui fait dans l'école en Haïti, mais avant la introduire tête. Go ahead, Katianna.
Bonjour, bonsoir tout le monde. Nom c'est Katianna Fevrier Désir. Et moi sorti à Haïti en 2010. Yeah, 2010. Et puis moi sorti dans l'école, j'ai fait presque toute éducation dans nouveau collège Bird qui Port-au-Prince dans Woodland-Therma. Yeah. Et puis tout le monde est venu ici après tremblement de terre.
Okay. There was a bit delay. So ou fait l'école en Haïti, ou te dit non l'école na. Qui année, na qui époque ou te l'école en Haïti?
Moi j'étais à l'école Haïti pendant l'époque 1990 avec 2000 jusqu'à 2010. Commencement 2010 parce que le tremblement de terre a devenu passé en janvier.
OK.
So on commencement 2010, c'est là ça me quitte.
Oui. Et mais Katianna, nous t'aimes connaître sous capable share avec nous expérience dans l'école en Haïti, spécialement classe primaire, élémentaire, high school, sous capable ba nous yon exemple d'expérience.
OK. En Haïti, moi j'étais allée dans kindergarten dans l'école Sabine. C'est une école qui Port-au-Prince, quelqu'un monde qui pas connaît, mais yo bon uniforme rose et blanc. Et puis tout après Sabine, moi j'étais venu commencer à faire première année dans l'école Nouveau Collège Bird, de première année jusqu'à Reto. C'est là moi fait toute année scolaire moi. Et puis tout pendant que Haïti, m'ka fait comparaison entre l'école Haïti avec l'école ici parce que me passé m'quitte Haïti en retour dans l'école l'emte dans classe m'te dans retour so l'em fini ici moi t'ai fait 12 grade dernière classe moi ici mais l'emte vini il était en éducation était un petit genre différent gens que éduqué ti mon ici avec Haïti différent. L'emte aller Haïti ou t'es dans classe ou un seul professeur et puis tout même professeur ça il fait tout matériaux à voir et puis nous toujours gain presque même genre ici you have report card Haïti ou gain canel et lo gain canel et presque même bagaille avec ici par un signal et puis tout ici yo bon report card là yo bon un seul par un fin well et vous pas besoin de retourner mais Haïti les parents c'est un seul comparé à l'école de Haïti yo bon ou bon canet ça veut dire il gain pour chaque mois yo là-dedans donc les bon grade ou yo bon grade pour chaque matière 8 sur 10 9 sur 10 après ça yo calculer si yo bon top élève yo mais mon Haïti takou la kay moyen qui était acceptable pour qui était accepté la kay c'est moyen 7. De ou va faire moyen 7. C'est comme si ça ou va régler l'école là. Ça ou mando. Qui ça va régler l'école là. It's like moyen 7 ici, it a consideré like a C, but a higher C.
Okay. Okay.
So if I deal like that, it will be like a higher C. So
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you share in English? Can you interpret in English what you just said? Just a summary, just a short summary for our English speakers.
Yes, to make it short, I'm just gonna say that in Haiti, the report, you get your report card every month, and when you get your report card, it's like, unlike here where you have a report card where you just have one, you don't have to return the report card. In Haiti, you have to return it because it's like a book. You return it every month, isn't it? Your parents have to sign and you return it to them. That's how you see your grades and all that. And pour Jean yo fait éducation à Haïti yo basé yo mette un pile accent sur réciter les sons. Les pour histoire d'Haïti, géographie, gen morale, yo fait toute classe ça avoir et puis faut yo bon bagay pour aller étudier après ça pour venir réciter. C'est petit parti piraille l'école Haïti. De trouver ça vraiment dur parce que pour tout le monde qui mon paquet bon bagay dans tête tout, de trouver ça vraiment dur Haïti. Et puis tout l'on a récité dans l'école de collège Bird. Dans commencement l'on a récité commencement yo pas bon l'on commencé première année, deuxième année, yo commencé à avoir slowly. Yo bon as you loving the big work class. Yo bon plus bagay pour songer, yo gen plus leçon pour réciter, plus bagay pour songer. Et puis tout l'on pas qu'à réciter tout. Des fois yo bon à copier leçon plusieurs fois, ou copier plusieurs fois et puis pour tourner dans l'école là. Et pas on doit au courant de lui. Des fois il faut copier plusieurs fois pour ça pour signer en bas. Et puis tout dans l'école m'teye pour me translate pour the English speakers. For translate, let me remember what I said.
Well,
yes, in Haiti, you had to remember by heart. There's a lot of stuff for you to remember by heart. You have a lot of stuff to study. You always they start you early age. You have stuff to study, and when you come back the next day, you have to recite what you study, and you have to recite it word by word. Not just tell the professor what you understood about it. You have to recite word by word everything that was in that thing. And that was the hardest part. When I came to school here, I was like, oh, thank God, I don't have to do all that. That was a freedom. I felt free. But
right.
For some people, it works. But for me, that's not my learning style. And that's one thing in Haiti. Like the learning style, it's like you can say, oh, this is my learning style. I remember because when I came here, I realized the way I learn is through pictures. That's what I learn when
you're visual.
I'm visual. But in Haiti, you cannot just be visual. You have to it's in the book. Remember everything that's in the book, word by word, the way it is. That's how you have to remember it.
Thank you. Let me ask you, but Mado, so parce que on connaît moi m'a fait interview avec un pile monde qui à l'école qui est à l'école en Haïti. Na expérience sur l'école, est-ce que dans toute classe yo net comme tu fait un pile presque toute high school tout dans l'école, est-ce que c'est toute classe yo net qui te gagne réciter que tu gagne pour faire ou bien est-ce que c'est seulement dans primaire après ça là qui te gagne plus réciter avec élémentaire après ça là pour aller dans classe qui plus grand yo gagne plus côté yo plus analyse conceptionnelle bagay comme ça ou bien est-ce qu'on va connaître ou même ou tes expériences en différence? Bon, dis ça en anglais. I don't know if you experienced it differently. I've interviewed a lot of people, and some people say that their experience in the primary school, in their primary education, was a little bit different than their higher education, like high school, that recitation was a part of it throughout their education, but as they became, went to higher grades, a lot more analyzing and conceptualizing type work was done as well. Would you say that was also your experience in Creole and English, please?
Yes, I would say it was similar because as you get from first grade to middle school, you had to recite more. But at the end of middle school, there is that you have to go to examen l'état. It's like examen l'état is like, for example, you see how you after you take after college when you have to take a board for something. At the end of middle school, you had to take something similar. It's not with the school, but it's with the city. You have to take that exam, and if you don't pass, you have to repeat the class. So for like the end of middle school, I would call sixième année in Haiti, you're going to examen l'état. They call it certificat. You have to go to certificat. The way they did it at my school, lors al certificat, lors préparé pour al certificat, I had they stopped the thing of having one teacher for one class. That's when you don't get only one teacher for one class. When they were preparing me for that exam, I had a teacher for math, I had a teacher for social studies, and I had a teacher for grammar, because these are the main points that they're gonna test you on. Okay. It's like FCAT. Yeah, it's like those exams.
The SATs or
yeah, it's something similar. It's like that. Yeah, it's something similar. It's just like you don't only have the SAT. You don't only have it once, because you have it on sixième année, Reto, and Philo. It's like you have three. Yeah, Philo is the last one. That's at the 12th grade, and you have to take another exam.
Okay.
Yes. So it was similar.
You want to say that in Creole?
Yeah, lor even dans sixième année, c'est là ça, dans sixième année, li vin pi, récitation même vin plus. Ou te gen plus pour réciter, you have more to recite when you get to that, the end of middle school, because they're preparing you for that exam. They want you to know everything, like word by word, to remember. And math,
Creole.
Yeah, pour mathématiques, m'ta dit que mathématiques, you had also some stuff to remember, some formulas, just like here. You had some formulas you had to remember, and you have those critical thinking that you have to do through math, and all those words problems you have to know how to solve, because when you go to this exam, you're gonna face them, so you have to know how to do them. Okay. So I would say it's similar to the education here. It's similar. It's just harder, I would say.
Okay.
Because it's harder, because here some kids you see that they're doing it, but they don't have to. Some feel like they don't have to in class. They don't have to learn it. Some doesn't care that they have to recite. But in Haiti, you have no choice but to know your lesson and recite.
So en Haïti, ou pas gen choix pour apprendre certaines choses, mais ici ou gen choix. Ou ka expliquer ça en créole pour nous ka?
Yeah, m'kwe ça. Et pas pour apprendre quelque chose. M'tap di ou pas gen choix en Haïti, ou pas gen choix pour yo bon leçon pour choisir juste qu'on pas vle étudier. Ou pas vle like memorize. Ou pas gen choix. Like, because when I came here, I saw that some kids were very laid back in learning. They had a lot of freedom to, if they want to learn or not. I feel like in Haiti, they're tougher on you to learn. Even if your parents are not there to kind of make you learn, you have to, I feel like. That's my
So tako en Haiti, il était plus
tight.
Oui, tako plus dur, il était plus dur avec Timonio. Côté dans pays ici, tako il pas dur même gens so Timonio. Tako yo get de fois ouais ça qui point le son plus sérieux passer l'autre. Oui. Ou ti yo bagay que moi I'm going to ask the question in English, not ask it in Creole, so we could also answer it accordingly. So you said something in what you were sharing. You said that learning by memory was not your strong point. and that you are more of a visual learner, right? What was it like for you personally to have, to have to study that way? Was it very difficult for you in school? Did you have help from teachers, or from people to help you? To understand, did you feel understood by the teachers, that you could go and talk to the teachers? Qui j'en t'a pour en Haïti comme ou plus visuel, passer, pour songer. Qui j'en t'a dit que li t'aye pour personnellement, est-ce que tu es capable de parler avec professeur? Est-ce que tu es capable de faire pour aider, pour capable de joindre aide que besoin? Vous comprenez? Oui.
I would say that it wasn't, going to talk to a teacher wasn't gonna, to my point of view, to what I've been through, it wasn't helping. It wasn't much help to go to a teacher and say it and talk about my learning, because even if I say I'm a visual, I still need to recite that thing that I had to study. I still need to recite it word by word. Me, the way I would have to recite. Sometimes I have to recite, but I don't really know it, and they will grade me bad because I don't know it word by word. But I can explain what I study, but they wouldn't accept that because I need to know it word by word instead of just tell them what I understood. I had to learn word by word, I would say, and. Professeur pour Jean système haïtien pour juste dire comme ça c'est visuel ou quali, yo pas vraiment prend ça en considération parce que il dans programme yo que c'est ça yo va faire. C'est ça yo doit follow, because si moi-même moi dis moi ka plus apprendre visually et puis l'autre ti moun yo doit réciter comme si li pas fait sens, li pas bon pour ti moun yo, because li pas bon pour yo, parce que y après l'eau comme je note qu'on fait récitation, yo gon liste non ti moun yo et puis yo relo. Et puis ou en ligne ou va réciter. Ou en ligne ou va réciter.
Tout le monde réciter. Oh man, yes.
Tout le monde a récité. Ou pas besoin penser oh il va bouger sur moi. Ou réciter.
Oui. Ou connaît m'kap di m'pa konn ki jan moi ta fait dans ça tout, non, parce que moi plus visuel avec moi bon avec même moi, ou bien le m'a fait projet, vous comprenez moi, et comme ça moi apprendre plus bien passer pour mémoriser. So on connaît l'état un challenge pour moi parce que l'état difficile. Yeah, I was just saying that for me, it would probably be difficult as well to have that memory thing going on, because I'm more visual and kinesthetic. Like I like project-based type things. I learn well that way. I don't do well with just memorizing. And so it makes me wonder what type of a student would I have been in Haiti. Like, I don't know.
But the thing is, the memorizing part, it's not for all your everything you're gonna learn, because for social study, I would say it's focused more on social studies for you to memorize. It's not for all the, what would you call it?
Subjects?
Et pas pour tout sujet, pas pour toute classe you a besoin memorize. Et pas pour tout subject you, because it's focused more on social studies. Social studies, that's why you have to recite more stuff. Yeah, because I was talking to my friends the other day, and it seems that we had similar stuff. We're like, I hate this book, I hate this social book, I hate this big book, because the chapters are so long and you have to memorize them. We were sharing the same stories. It's like it wasn't just my school then. We all had to recite from these books. Yeah.
Right. Man.
And to be honest, I'm looking back at all the things that we recite. I'm looking back and I'm like, what did I remember? And I'm like,
wow. Yeah.
From all the stuff I recite.
From all because that wasn't your learning style. Et pas comme ça où t'es apprendre, et pas comme ça où t'es capable captiver le son, vous comprenez moi? Tout le monde m'a parlé, yo dit presque même bagaille que tout Jean l'école Haïti enseigné, yo mette tout le monde dans même boîte. Dans même boîte, yo pas ouais que moun différent. Et moi parler avec moun qui à l'école dans même époque ou à l'école yo, ça qui à l'école puis bonheur passé ou c'est même bagay là. Ouais, nous ouais que pas gain trop différence mais gon bagay ou dit que moi pas attendais déjà et moi pas penser pour te demander ou dit comme ça que c'est pas dans toute classe qui te gain récité. Et moi capable comprendre ça là pour mathématiques bagay comme ça mais dans mind moi peut-être c'est penser que presque toute classe yo. Même si c'est pas gros ça que mathématiques ou bien m'pa konn ki jan science teye m'pa connait mais toute l'autre classe yo m'te pensé que c'est réciter mais ou dit comme ça que c'est plus dans classe histoire que ou gen ça que ça t'est arrivé yeah, non, ça intéressait. Je ne sais pas si c'est seulement dans l'école où ça t'est fait ou bien si l'on parlait avec l'autre amis ou aussi autant de c'était même bagaille pour eux tout. Je vais dire ça en anglais, bon moi minute. You said a lot of interesting things. One of the things you said that it really captivated me, and I didn't think to ask that in prior interviews, is that it wasn't in all of the classes that you had to learn word by word, to recite, but it was in primarily in the history classes, the history classes that you had to do that. And that was interesting to me because I guess I was under the impression that for most of the classes, I know things like math, that probably wouldn't be the case, but I just thought for most of the classes, it was some type of recitation. So you kind of clarified that for me. I don't know if it's true for all the schools that, for the people who represented all the different schools and different times, that if it's true, but that is something that I have a few more interviews to do. I know I will ask to see, was it primarily in their history class that they had to recite, or was it in other classes? As well.
I wanna while you are talking, and I wanna go to a day at a school in Haiti.
Please, yes.
Let me just go through a day. In my school, we all wore uniforms. I had that gray skirt and I had that pleated white and yellow shirt. And at the school, they tell you have to wear black shoes, white socks, and what else? Yeah, that's about it. They give you the guidelines of how you have to be dressed. So before the beginning of the school years, me and my mom because everybody it's not like you can go and buy the uniform. No, you have to have somebody who can, they show you a picture of the uniform and you have to have somebody who can tailor the uniform for you. Really? Who can make the uniform for you. So my family had somebody who saw a uniform every year. But from the family that's a little fun story. From my family, my mom, when she would give that guy, it was a guy that used to do a uniform. He will make her skirt so long. This thing will be up to her, almost to her feet. So we will, after he brings the clothes, we'll have somebody else tailor it. Make it the right way. And when my mom asked, she'll be like, yeah, that's how you made them. That's exactly how you made them. and to go to a school year, I used to have 5 or 3 uniforms made, because you have to, with my family, we used to wash our uniform every time after school. We have to wash our uniform. So my mom, she made us 3 or 5 uniforms. Yeah. So we have the skirt. We didn't have to wash every day, but the shirt we will wash every day. So we'll need to have different shirts. And there was something that will show that's the school. We had something we had to sew in the uniform. I don't have a picture, but
okay. Yeah.
Yes,
I understand what you're saying.
And then in the morning, you get ready and you go to school. I think school was usually at 7:30. I'm not sure about that, but it was usually at 7:30 for you to go to school. When you get to school, we all have to line up in the nous tous doit camper dans l'école là. Tout le monde par classe, par salle de classe. Yo camper, yo en ligne, 2 par 2. Yo en ligne et puis tout nous yo fait announcement et puis tout après ça nous monter drapeau. That's one thing I know they do in here. Like you have to put the
like stand in the back when we're standing on outside by per grade, and then we say the flag. You know, when I went to school, we did that. I don't know about now, but when I went to school and you know, because I'm Haitian, you know, I had to go to a Catholic school. So I did some years in Catholic schools before I ever attended a public school. And we stood in the backyard area by our class, and we said prayer, and then we said the pledge allegiance to the flag. We said it, and then we walked in the class. So we did that, at least in my day when I went to school in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah, when I was here, it was different.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember them doing that. They do that when they have big announcement, big meetings. That's when I remember they did that. Yeah, to the
Ou kap explique non ti piti de en créole, parce que ça Katianna t'a fait, li t'a expliqué nous yon jou qui jan yon jou semblé l'école. Li te commencé I'll summarize it. Li te commencé côté li dit comme ça que li t'a parlé de uniforme que yo te gen pour yo mette, et c'est uniforme, c'est pas acheter, yo te capable acheter, c'est moun qui te capable qui pour faire pour yo. Et il était garanti oui parce que il t'a parlé de cet un monsieur qui t'a fait uniforme lui-même avec Stelio, et il t'a fait jupe très long jusqu'à presque dans pied, il presque dans pied, et il était qu'on a rangé lui après, et il dit maman non c'est comme ça, il était après ça il commence à parler de qui genre you know, tout le monde campé en ligne dans la classe, yo pas dehors, et yo prié après ça, yo ou cap expliquer nous plus de ça,
yo prié après ça, yo monté drapeau, yo chanté puis yo monté drapeau.
Oui.
Yes. Et puis après ça, chaque classe allait en l'ordre, yo gon jump, yo fait chaque classe aller. Et puis tout l'arrivée dans la classe, ou gen classe avec yo mettez l'arrivée dans classe, yo mettez activité pour classe yo, ou gen from l'heure ça à l'heure ça, ou gen tel professeur pour faire ça avant, ou bon activité pour faire. Mais gon ba terrain mais là te fait Haiti, yo félicite PE class, you have PE, I had PE class. Yeah, I had the gym when I lemte Haiti. Mde gen gym class, mde gen class anglais, mde gen class espagnol, mde gen class créole. Men mwen realize en Haiti, pas toute l'école qui ba class créole.
Oui, ça c'est un gros problème. Moi gen yon interview qui a vini côté nous a gen yon panel qui va parler de challenge français créole non qui gagne en Haïti, qui genre gen moun qui vle français seulement pour éducation, et gen moun qui vle seulement créole, et ça sont connaît ça sont bagay qui toujours en débat en Haïti, et les styles en débat. So moi pas capable pour moi capable de interview ça parce que la intéressé un peu pour m'entendre tout ça mon gain pour yo dire sur ça. Oui, go ahead.
Yeah, nous te gen classe créole, nous gen classe morale, et gon l'autre ti classe te kon fait, nous te gen classe pour coude. Par contre c'est toute l'école qui te gen ça, dans l'école moi te gen classe pour coude, te gen classe savoir vivre, yo montre comment vous manger, sous table, te gen toute classe ça yo. Dans mi-temps grammaire, dans mi-temps social study, histoire d'Haïti, ou gen ti bagay fun ça yo pour ka distraire toujours. Et pas seulement le focus dans grammaire avec social studies.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Well, pas nos informations que nous pas gagné dans l'autre interview, ça très intéressant. L'état très intéressé pour nous être capable ouais si les similaires ou bien si les différents. Oui.
Yes.
You want to say that in English real quick, and then and I don't know if you have anything else to say. We're going to, I may have one more question. Go ahead.
Yes. Back in Haiti, we had different classes. We had PE, we had Creole class, we had French class, we have English class, Spanish class, and we had social studies, and we have morals where they show you how to eat, how to talk, and stuff like that. And we also had sewing class where you learn how to sew, and we had an art class also. So in between doing grammar during the day, in between doing social studies, we had those other classes where we can feel free, where we can be ourselves, where we can experience other stuff, so we can be productive. So
yeah.
And one thing I don't know if they do it here, I'm not sure, but for biology, we also had the same teacher for biology. We have a book, a sketching book, where you have to draw different part of people's body and stuff like that. We had that in biology. Everybody had to do it. Either you know how to draw or not.
Or you don't. You still had to do the best you can.
That's how I learned that, oh, I can draw. That's how I learned, oh, I have an artistic side. That's how I learned.
Wow. No, we did, at least when I was growing up, and from what I know now, there isn't drawing in biology, but we do have labs. Are there labs in Haiti? So ou ti kon sa ke na classe biologie ou te gen pou fè dessin parti que wap apren yo, et ou te mande moi est-ce que yo gen ça ici, nous na expérience pa moi dans l'école ici, avec ça me connaît, avec ti moun ki dans l'école ici kounya, pa genyen ça, mais nous genyen labs. Mbak je dis labs.
Haiti te gen lab tout, laboratoire.
Te gen laboratoire kote nou fè différents bagay. Ça moi connais gen l'école qui gen en Haïti, gen l'école qui pa gen en Haïti.
Oui, et pas toute l'école qui gen. Yo te gen laboratoire pour biology, pour biologie, et puis yo te gen laboratoire pour chimie. Yes.
Okay.
Et puis tu yo te also gen Haiti, yo gen computer class also.
Okay. Yeah, you gen
computer class.
Well, Katianna, nous presque fini là avec session interview ça. Il était très intéressant et nous te gen bon information qui riche. Moi, ta me connais, est-ce qu'on gagne un dernier mot ta me pour dire de expérience ou un bagay, qui te cap vini dans tête pendant ta parler, pour capable share avec nous. On va dire ça en créole, en anglais. Katianna, thank you so much for being here. You really provided some fresh perspective, especially since I think you're the person who came from Haiti, like you had less time here than in Haiti, from all the different people that I've spoken to. And so there's a level of richness that you bring to this conversation because it's more vivid in your mind, right? You remember so much of the experiences, and you were able to share that with us. And that was so cool. It was really good stuff. I don't know if you have like a last word that you want to say to our audience about the topic that we're talking about right now.
The last thing I would say is that in Haiti, I think in every country, education is different. Every country do it their own way, and it works for them. But to me, if I would compare the education in Haiti and here, I would say there are some stuff I would add, and there are some stuff I would take out. Like for example, in Haiti, the reason why I was fortunate enough to have all these educations is because my parents will try their best to provide for me for the school, because in Haiti, you have to pay for your school. It's not like you have a public school here where you just send your kids and you don't have to pay. My parents have to pay every month for the school. And they will, in Haiti, when you don't pay, they will call you and then they will send you back home. because you didn't pay for this month. You have to go back home and miss classes and stuff like that. Some people, you'll see them leave and they never come back. It's like, what I would say is that when you get something, sometimes I feel like some people here, they don't value education as much as they should. When you have it for free, when you have more opportunities to learn, you should take that. Because not everybody have that opportunity. Because in Haiti, there are so many smart kids. They would love to go to school. They would love to go to college after school, but they don't have that opportunity. It's hard for them.
Right.
I would say to value education. And another difference with Haiti, the math classes are more advanced in Haiti than here, because the math that I was doing in Haiti when I came, they were the same thing that I was gonna learn in my 12th grade, but I already learned that.
Okay.
So I would say it's more advanced.
Okay. Yeah. And I guess it also depends on the school you went to in Haiti as well, right? Because I know there are different, just like in here, there are different levels of school, or different types of schools. Some schools are higher. Their standards of learning is higher than it is in some other schools. And so the students are it's more rigor than it is in some schools, in some other schools. Would you say?
I don't think it will be. I don't think it is, because remember I said at the end, your last 2 classes in Haiti, you have a board test for both of them, like a SAT. You have a final exam for both of those last classes. So that means all the schools are going with the same program. So if you're learning it, they're learning it also. Whatever school you go to, they're learning it too. So we all learning the same thing. To translate in Creole, I'll say, en Haïti, localement baccalauréat avec philo, c'est qui tout est dans gros l'école, qui tout est dans l'école, c'est même baccalauréat wap joindre, c'est même examen wap joindre. Ça veut dire nous tous nous dans même programme, nous tous apprendre même bagage là. Ou juste ou seulement apprendre non puis gros l'école, mais on apprendre même bagage.
OK.
Et puis ici, c'est comme si, pour exemple, mathématiques, là, ici, mathématiques, là, on dit genre, pour un monde qui vit en Haïti, mathématiques ici, hein, on dit genre, puis l'eau, parce qu'on connaît, ça va pas prendre nos classes, comme si on va pas prendre nos dernières classes, qui c'est 12th grade, avec philo Haïti, mathématiques, c'est différent. Mathématiques Haïti, en puis haut.
Oui, OK. Merci en pile, ou ba nou en pile bon information. Yon bagay ou di pou dernier mot ou te di lan anglais ma di la créole. Ou di kon sa ke Timon ici parce que yo jouen l'école plus facile, takou yo kabale nan l'école plus facile parce que Timon Haïti, parce que Timon Haïti yo gen pou yo payer, pour yo à l'école, gen Timon ki tame pour yo apprendre, mais peut-être pas gen l'argent pour pas payer pour l'école, yo pas kabale l'école. So Timon ici peut-être li plus facile, yo pas prendre l'école au sérieux tant que Timon Haïti. Et ouais que so ou t'a encouragé Timon ici pour yo cap prendre l'école au sérieux parce que yo cap gagner opportunité ça, vous comprenez? Yon nan raison que yon nan bagay qui fait moi mal, c'est parce que gagner Timon qui voulait apprendre en Haïti mais qui pas capable à l'école. Ça fait mal en pile. Et yon nan bagay m'tame pour me faire yon jour pas j'aime connaître pas na kabouvri côté si yo pas capable payer, nous gen internet là, gen professeur qui cap venir pour yo apprendre Timon. Vous comprenez moi online, ou ka faire online school. Vous comprenez moi pour Timon capable apprendre. Parce que dans saison technologie ça pas gen aucune raison vraiment. Vous comprenez moi pour Timon pas capable apprendre si nous mettons tête nous ensemble pour nous capable faire bagay yo marché pour Timon yo capable apprendre. Vous comprenez?
On dernier bagay m't'avais ajouté, c'est une raison qui fait que en Haïti ou grand pile monde qui est lettré parce que et pas vle pas qu'on ni pas qu'on écrit, mais seulement yo pas de moyen. Et ça fait au grand pile monde qui pas qu'on ni qu'on écrit en Haïti.
Oui. Yon bagay encore, vous comprenez, un pile crime qui a fait en Haïti tout. Sorti dans Timon ça que l'école pas vle. Nous avons toute qualité histoire et les difficile pour nous tendre yo, mais Ou connaît, c'est comme ça bagaille, nous connaît bon Dieu capable de changer toute bagaille. So, nous appuyons pour ça. Mais nous gagnons pour nous finir, nous dire merci en pile pour ça. Nous gagnons une dernière interview pour le faire là, aujourd'hui. Hein? Et moun que pour faire interview ça yo avec non moi yo plus grand passé ou et yo plus grand passé puis l'autre moun que moi t'ai interview so far so li pour m'a intéressé pour me capable ouais est-ce que c'est même bagaille parce que presque tout le monde parlait c'est presque même c'est presque similaire expérience mais moi qui allé dans l'école tant qu'on en 1970 0 c'est 70 c'est pas vrai
1990 ou 1970
70
1970
oui 1970 est-ce que c'était même bagaille comprends-moi qui était là so again merci Katianna maybe nous capable gagner encore si you know gain possibilité et me connais gain zami qui time pour parler tout d'expérience et nous cap faire yo venir tout si gain si nous capable but merci un peu moi apprécier temps I appreciate your time I appreciate the good information you've given and you're welcome to come back and we will talk again all right
my pleasure
all right bye-bye
bye